In the beginning of the story, we see a beautiful woman named Alice Lantins, who is 40 years old. Alice has been working for a fashion magazine in Paris called Rebelle Magazine for the last 8 years. She is fully committed to moving forward in her career. However, her bitter nature and old-fashioned attitude have become obstacles in her progress. Because of this, she hasn't received a promotion in the last 4 years. Alice has been divorced from her husband, and she lives with her young daughter, Lily. But because of her busy work life, Alice can't give her daughter much time. Before going to work, she drops her daughter off at her sister Sandrine's house. Alice feels very lonely in her life and doesn't even get time for herself. One day, Alice goes to Brazil for work, and when she returns to Paris after finishing her assignment, she meets a young boy named Balthazar Apfel. Balthazar is 20 years old and studies at a university. Balthazar had booked a seat in economy class, but there's a problem with his seat, so the crew upgrades him to business class, where he ends up sitting next to Alice. Balthazar is thrilled. It's his first time flying in business class. Meanwhile, Alice is busy working on her laptop. During the landing, the plane experiences heavy turbulence. Alice gets scared and instinctively holds Balthazar's hand. Seeing this, Balthazar feels a rush of excitement. For the first time, a woman, especially one like Alice, has touched him like that, and he immediately feels drawn to her. After a while, the plane lands and Alice starts to leave. Balthazar wants to talk to her, but Alice just says goodbye and walks away. Then Balthazar notices that Alice's USB drive has fallen under the seat. He hurries out of the airport to return it, but it's too late. Alice has already gotten into Sandrine's car and driven off, while Balthazar just stands there watching her leave. On the way, Sandrine tells Alice about a man, a doctor, whom she wants her to meet. But Alice isn't interested in getting married again, so she refuses. Sandrine becomes upset because she wants Alice to meet someone good and start a new life. After that, Alice goes to the office. But her colleagues don't like her cold and strict behavior, and they often gossip about her. However, Alice has one close coworker, Simon, who supports her in everything. Later, a staff member tells Alice that a boy named Balthazar called the office. He said he wanted to talk to her, but Alice dismisses it, saying she doesn't know anyone named Balthazar. Then Alice goes to talk to her boss about getting a promotion. But her boss tells her that her articles feel outdated, that readers aren't interested in them anymore. "You need to bring something fresh and exciting," he says. "If this continues, I'll have to let you go." Hearing this, Alice stays late in the office that night, thinking about how she can bring something new and exciting to the magazine. That's when she notices the note from her staff member, the one mentioning the boy who called about the USB drive. Alice suddenly remembers she dropped her USB drive on the plane. She immediately calls Balthazar and says, "Where are you? I really need that USB drive. It's very important." At that time, Balthazar is at a bar with his friends. He invites Alice to come there. When Alice arrives outside the bar, Balthazar takes her inside and introduces her to his friends. Coincidentally, 2 of Alice's co-workers are also there, and they're shocked to see her with a young man. Alice just wants to get her USB drive back quickly, so she asks Balthazar for it. But he says, "It's at my place. You'll have to come with me." They go outside, and Balthazar tells her to hop on his scooter. It's the first time Alice has ever sat on a scooter, so she hesitates. Balthazar helps her put on a helmet. When Alice struggles with it, he gently adjusts it for her. At that exact moment, the 2 girls from Alice's office see them from a distance, and from their angle, it looks like Alice and Balthazar are kissing. One of them secretly takes a photo and posts it online. Balthazar brings Alice to his house, where his father is also present. He deliberately delays giving her the USB drive so he can talk to her a bit longer. When he finally hands it over and Alice is about to leave, Balthazar offers, "Should I drop you off on my scooter?" Alice politely declines, saying, "No, I'll take a cab." Then Balthazar asks, "Can we have coffee sometime?" Alice doesn't reply. She just smiles, says thank you, and leaves. The next day, when Alice arrives at work, everyone is staring at her strangely. She doesn't understand why, until one of her colleagues shows her the photo of her and Balthazar that's gone viral. Everyone thinks she was kissing him, but Alice knows it's just a misunderstanding. However, her boss Vincent Kahn seems thrilled. "I love your new image," he says. Alice protests, "There's nothing like that." But he insists, "This is exactly what we need. That boy is much younger than you. It looks modern, edgy, fresh." Vincent explains that since their magazine targets young people, Alice's rumored relationship with a 20-year-old could actually help her better understand the younger generation. "Stick with it," he says. "It'll help sell more magazines. People love a scandal." But Alice doesn't want to date someone younger. She talks about it with her friend, who advises her to pretend to date Balthazar just for appearances. "If Vincent sees this, he'll be pleased and maybe finally promote you," he says. Alice knows it's wrong to play with someone's feelings, but the thought of finally getting her promotion is tempting. Without thinking much, she decides to use Balthazar for her career advantage. The next day, Alice meets Balthazar again. This time, she's dressed beautifully in a completely new look. Seeing her, Balthazar can't take his eyes off her. Alice flirts playfully, and they start talking. Balthazar can hardly believe he's with her. That night, Alice takes him to a show hosted by one of her friends. There, she deliberately acts affectionate toward Balthazar to make it look like they're dating. During the event, her friend, who is the host, tries to touch Alice in a teasing way, which annoys Balthazar. He starts mocking the host's performance. Alice laughs at his jokes, which embarrasses her friend, and he storms off angrily. Afterward, Alice and Balthazar talk quietly. Balthazar says, "I never thought I'd meet you like this," or that we'd go out together. He knows Alice is divorced and has a daughter, but it doesn't matter to him. Alice tells him, "We need to understand each other better." Then her phone rings. It's Sandrine, reminding her that the doctor she wanted Alice to meet is coming over for dinner. Sandrine insists that Alice should come home soon. Alice doesn't want to go, but out of respect for her sister, she lies to Balthazar. "My daughter isn't feeling well. I have to go home," she says. Worried, Balthazar quickly hails a taxi for her and makes sure she gets in safely. Seeing his concern, Alice feels touched. When she arrives home, Alice has dinner with Sandrine, her husband, and the doctor. But Alice has had a few drinks, and during dinner, she starts asking the doctor some awkward questions. The doctor gets offended and leaves. Meanwhile, Alice keeps trying to impress her boss, hoping he'll give her that long-awaited promotion, but it still doesn't happen. That's why Alice decides to take Balthazar to a fashion show, where their company's CEO, Xavier, and her boss, Vincent Kahn, are also present. During the runway, one of the models suddenly falls. Seeing this, Balthazar rushes forward to help her up. Xavier is impressed by Balthazar's kind and spontaneous reaction. After the show ends, Alice and Balthazar have some drinks at the after party and start dancing together. As they dance, they get very close to each other. But before anything happens, Alice notices a group of girls nearby taking pictures of them. Alarmed, she immediately grabs Balthazar's hand and pulls him outside. Balthazar drives her home on his scooter. When they arrive, there's a moment where Balthazar leans in to kiss Alice, but she hesitates, steps back, and quietly goes inside the house. Balthazar feels disappointed, thinking he missed his chance to get closer to her. A few moments later, he decides to visit Alice's house. He learns that her daughter Lily is staying at her aunt Sandrine's place. When Alice opens the door, Balthazar kisses her. And this time, Alice can't resist. They end up being intimate with each other. The next morning, Alice feels guilty about what happened. She tells Balthazar to leave, but it's raining heavily outside, so he stays until the rain stops. Just then, Sandrine and Lily return home. Alice quickly tells them that Balthazar is her colleague. She hands him some files to make it look like a work visit, and Balthazar awkwardly plays along. But as he's about to leave, Alice suddenly stops him at the door and kisses him again. This moment makes it clear. Alice has genuinely started liking Balthazar. The relationship she initially began as a pretense has now turned into something real. After that, Alice and Balthazar begin spending more time together. Balthazar surprises her often by taking her out on small adventures, and Alice starts enjoying his company deeply. Now, true feelings start to blossom between them. They are genuinely happy together. One day, Balthazar asks, "You're beautiful and successful. Why did you choose me?" Alice can't answer. She had originally entered the relationship for her own benefit, but now she's truly fallen in love with him. A few days later, Alice finally gets the promotion she's always dreamed of. She's happy, but now she starts thinking about Balthazar. Should she continue this relationship? When they meet, Balthazar looks at her sincerely and says, "I love you, Alice. I want to marry you." Alice is stunned. She replies, "We're very different. I'm 20 years older than you. You still have your whole life ahead of you." She continues, "I love you, but I have many responsibilities. I have a daughter, I have a career. We can't live together under these circumstances. What will people say about us?" Then she adds, "Maybe it's better if we stop here." But Balthazar doesn't want to let her go. Still, Alice walks away. She knows she had used him at first to get a promotion, but now she truly loves him. And yet, because of her fear of judgment and responsibility, she decides to leave him. After parting from Balthazar, Alice becomes extremely lonely. It's very hard for her to forget him. Balthazar feels the same way. He shares his sadness with his father, who gently comforts him. "When I was your age," his father says, "I fell in love too. Life goes on. You must move forward." A few days later, Xavier, the CEO of Rebel magazine, comes to review the new cover photo. But she's not satisfied with the male model they've chosen. She wants a fresh, new, and unseen face. Then she notices Alice's laptop wallpaper. It's a photo of Balthazar. Recognizing him, Xavier says, "He's the same boy who helped that model during the fashion show. That's the kind of young energy we need. I want him as our new model." Alice is uneasy hearing this. She doesn't want to meet Balthazar again, but she has to follow her boss's instructions. Alice calls and messages Balthazar, but he ignores her. He's drinking at home, heartbroken and angry. Finally, Alice goes to his house herself and convinces him to come with her. Balthazar thinks that Alice wants to get back together, but when she explains that she wants him to model for the magazine, his excitement vanishes. "You'll get to work with beautiful girls and earn good money," she says. Balthazar realizes she hasn't come for love, but for work. Furious, he says, "I don't want to see you anymore. It's better if we never meet again." He storms off. On the day of the photo shoot, everyone waits for Balthazar to arrive. Alice is terrified. If he doesn't show up, she'll lose her job. Finally, Balthazar appears. Deep down, he still loves Alice. He goes to the makeup room to get ready. Then Alice's friend comes to him and apologizes. "I'm the one who advised Alice to fake a relationship with you," he confesses. "I told her to do it so she could get a promotion." Hearing this, Balthazar feels shattered. He realizes that Alice's love story started as a lie. He walks out, kisses Alice in front of everyone, and then proceeds with the photo shoot. But the experience overwhelms him. He's not used to posing in front of cameras, and the photographer keeps giving him instructions over and over again. Frustrated, Balthazar snaps and walks away. Alice follows him to calm him down. But Balthazar, angry and hurt, says, "I loved you with all my heart, and you used me for your career." Then he leaves in sadness. Alice feels terrible. Her boss, Vincent, fires her. Now she's completely alone, unable to forget Balthazar. His memories haunt her every moment. Alice realizes that she needs him more than she needs her career. The person she once used has become the one she truly loves. So, Alice goes to Balthazar's college. In front of everyone, she declares, "I've stopped thinking about my future. I don't care what society says about us anymore. I just want you, I love you, and I want to be with you." She apologizes sincerely. Balthazar still loves her, he kisses her and forgives her. After that, the two finally start living happily together. And with that, the movie ends. Friends, if your family and society went against your relationship, would you still be able to follow your heart? Tell us your opinion in the comments. Like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. See you in the next video. Until then, bye-bye and take care.